Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. On this YouTube channel called Think Life Freedom, I talk a lot about lifestyle design that usually comes in the form of self-development and making sure that you are the best person that you can be. I believe in freedom, and that comes in the form of health, wealth and happiness. And recently I've been looking a lot into Stoicism because I found that a lot of the morals, the values, sort of the philosophy of Stoicism can be very, very powerful in our day-to-day life in the world that we live in now, more so than what it was like so many hundreds of years ago when Stoicism was much, much more popular. I've recently been reading this book right here, which is called The Daily Stoic. If that can focus, there we go. And this book is all about it's about Stoicism. You get one quote for each day, and then you actually get a bit of a biography here written by Ryan Holiday. And the idea is that every single day you read just a single page, and there are 366 quotes in this book. So you read one a day, and after a year, you've gone through all of these different chapters that are broken down. And the one that I got to a couple of days ago was about emotions and how you can master your emotions, because if you can master emotions, you can master life, because really everything in life is how you react to something or how you don't react to something, and how you choose your decisions is all based upon your emotions. And so the greater that you are at being able to handle those and not let impulses control you, the greater control you'll have on your life and the direction that you want to take it in, especially when it comes to goal setting. So in this video, I want to talk about this quote right here from Marcus Aurelius. And he says, "Keep this thought handy when you feel a fit of rage coming on. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human and therefore manlier. A real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage and endurance, unlike the angry and complaining. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Now, if you think about this in the real world and where we are today, we can kind of think about boxing, for example, or UFC, specifically Conor McGregor. We kind of see that he likes to trash talk his opponents in the pre-game. He likes to try and, throw as many personal insults as possible to really undermine and anger his opponents. And this can happen in sort of the pre-fight build-up, as well as when they're actually inside of the octagon, or if we take a boxing example, inside of the ring. And so, these people, these athletes love to shout insults and say something when the ref is not looking, to put them off their game. It's to, ensure that your opponent loses their cool, their rag, and can get quite angry, and allow them to lash out and fight in a different way and not stick to their strategy and game plan, which is obviously the thing that's going to allow them to more effectively defeat their opponent, which in this case would be Conor McGregor. So he is very, very vocal, inside the ring and out of it, because I believe, and I'm sure that he believes, that this actually gives him a slight edge on his competitors. So the next time that you find yourself getting angry about situations, whether that's anger that you're imposing upon yourself, or it's something that someone else is bringing onto you, maybe that's a boss or some friends who may be a bit annoying, or maybe it's a bully or someone who's not very kind to you, try to not allow yourself to get angry. Because when you get angry, you lose control of your emotions, and it's actually a mistake. Nothing usually comes of being angry. It's actually more seen as a weakness by others who may not be the person that you're directing that anger to. How many times have you seen someone lose their cool and start shouting? Maybe they're so angry they start crying, and they say things back, they insult back, and to the third party looking at that, it's kind of it's a bit disappointing if you know someone who's reacting angrily and using slurs and insults. It's not something to be proud of, and to see someone that do that, or even a public person, it's kind of embarrassing, and you can see that it's a weakness, that they don't have control of themselves, and it actually makes them look weak and vulnerable, and sometimes can just allow that person to be dragged down to the level of the person who got that reaction from them. We must also remember that in these situations, maybe someone has actually set this trap for you. They've allowed you to actually get angry because it actually works against you. If we go take this back to the example of boxing, for example, and maybe UFC, if we take Conor McGregor, who left the UFC to go and fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. in boxing, Conor McGregor obviously was doing his usual tactic, which was swearing and shouting and insulting to Floyd. However, you may notice that Floyd Mayweather Jr. barely reacted to it. He was very serious, cold, he was emotionless, he didn't allow things to get to him. And I think that probably helped him in his fight against Conor McGregor and eventually defeating him, because ultimately I would say that the person who is cool, calm and collected, who doesn't show any emotion in the face of adversity, who looks like they are collected and will, are stone cold and will go straight through you, I imagine that is so much more scary to face off in a boxing ring compared to someone who's showboating, who's throwing insults and trying to be like this big man for the cameras. I would feel more scared personally of the person who is emotionless, who looks like a cold stone killer. And so, if you look into your own life with how you react to things, you should try and react more on the sense of being calm and calculated with your response and being respectful of that person, and for a lack of a better word, kill them with kindness over instead being angry and allowing yourself to stoop to their level. The ultimate strength that we can have as a man or a human is to be able to be in control of our own emotions, and that in itself is the true strength of our character and our personality. Being able to choose not to rise to certain things that people may have set to try and get from you is actually something that's quite difficult to do, and if accomplished, allows you to be a much better person than someone who can lash out and be crazy and emotional, because when you're in that state, it's hard to stop yourself, and you can actually find that you snowball and you get wilder and wilder, and things get out of hand very quickly, and you can soon find yourself in much more trouble because you end up doing things that you don't mean to because you are emotional. Being the person who cannot be rattled or be emotional to the extent where you're flying off the handle is not a good thing. Obviously, being human is having emotions. You will feel fear and anger, and in certain situations, you can never defeat these things. But through Stoicism, they're not saying to become this emotional, less robot. It's more to recognize those feelings, those emotions, and choosing when and when not to use them and to rise up against the machine, as it were. And so it's interesting to ponder on this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe that this is strength? Do you think strength is being reactive? Or do you think that strength is responding? I personally feel that someone who responds to a matter rather than reacts is actually in a stronger footing and has a larger amount of strength. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give the video a like. I have quite a few videos on this YouTube channel about Stoicism. You can find a link in the description or in the iCard right here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel, Think Life Freedom, for loads of stuff about self-development, mindset, Stoicism, and so much more. I'm going to put some videos up here on the screen. You can click on any of them, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Have a great day.